go ahead and tell us who you are and something about your experiences here in the 30s.
Well, my name is Harry Hay, and in the early 30s, I was, among other things, an actor. And then the important thing in the 30s, the 20s, they were wide open. I understand they were wild in the 20s. In the 30s, they were still operating with the guardhouses, the Presidio. And there was the Geary Street guardhouse, was very well known. And what was particularly interesting about the guardhouse was that you went to that particular guardhouse on the Presidio guardhouse on Geary, on Wednesday nights. Because on Wednesday nights, the guy who was in charge of the guardhouse was friendly. And so consequently, dates could be made by other people. He would he would have friends who would be in the regular army, who would be interested in being fiddled with, shall we say, or whatever, and so that they would be in and around the guardhouse that night, and you would make a date with various people, so that the guardhouse on Wednesday night was the particular place.
So the guardhouse is actually the gate, the door, the little house at the gate.
Right.
So you just know to show up there at a certain time.
Yeah, and get friendly with him, and about 9 o'clock, all of a sudden somebody'd come in with a message or bring cigarettes or coffee or whatever, right. And then you would leave with him, you know.
And did you go on to the Presidio to do these?
In the bushes, sweetie.
In the bushes.
They were in the bushes, and there's something else, you see, in talking about all of this, we have to recognize again, because this guy isn't queer, you see, dear. This is wonderful. So he's getting an earful of a bunch of stuff he doesn't need.
Very interesting, totally interesting.
But anyway, what I was going to say was, this is one of the reasons why in the 30s, and the particular 20s and 30s and 40s, our sexual practices are oral, not anal. Well, my point, one of the reasons people say, why? I said, well, you see, we didn't have briefs yet. We didn't have zippers yet. We didn't have form-fitting spandex, like briefs would do, where they would fit carefully. You had BVDs. And BVDs, if you were going to be anal, it meant you had a panel with 3 buttons, which you had to drop in the back. Well, if you have to do all that to have an anal relationship, you're going to have to drop your pants, then unbutton all of this, and all of a sudden here come the cops. How do you get it all back together to get nothing flat, so that the cops are not going to catch you? The clothing didn't allow for this kind of relationship. It does allow for you to undo a couple of buttons and do the buttons back up again, because your shirt tail isn't going to fall out.
Interesting.
So consequently, you do what you need to do and get out of the bushes and light a cigarette and be nonchalantly walking down the path when the cop comes by. You know what I mean. And so consequently, it never occurred to any of us in that period to do anything other than an oral relationship, don't you see?